Now at 7:30 on WKYT this morning, radiation testing begins in Estill County today after the county found out radioactive waste was dumped in a landfill.
In Lexington, one man is in the hospital this morning after police say he was hit by a car in an alley.
And Hillary Clinton walked away a winner in South Carolina. We'll take a look at how she won the state's primary.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Happy Sunday to you. I'm Michelle Chamberlain. Thanks so much for joining us.
And I'm Sean Moody. Happy Sunday. It sounds like it's going to be a good Sunday, too, to get outside.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. A little spring weather. But Mike Linden, is it going to stick around?
It really looks like it should through most of the day today. Sunday, living up to its name. Already off to a beautiful start this morning. You've got to love it. And it looks like as we work our way into the middle of the day, things will continue to stay quite sunny. This is a live look right now, our live sky camera looking toward downtown Lexington. Hardly a cloud in the sky. A great start to our day so far. We look at Defender. Not seeing anything on the radar either. It really is going to be a pleasant start to the day so far. If you have any plans to get out, whether you're going to church, getting your grocery shopping done early, things are great and a little bit more comfortable outside this morning than where we were yesterday. That's because of this southwesterly flowing wind coming in from the Gulf of Mexico, which will provide us with temperatures today up near about the 60s. Right now in the lower 40s. Remember, yesterday at this time was right around the lower 30s, so things are certainly improving. But it looks like today might be the last day of our little spring fling here because active weather is on its way, and it looks like we could make a comeback to the winter before you know it. I'll show you when, coming up.
Thanks, Mike. Radiation testing begins today in Estill County after county leaders found out radioactive waste was illegally dumped in a landfill.
Yeah, those county leaders say they're fighting, quote, tooth and toenail to ensure there's no public health risk. WKYT's Mike Byer is covering our top story this morning. Good morning, Mike.
Radiation tests will begin this morning here at the Blue Ridge landfill in Estill County. This after last week when county leaders found out that 1,600 to 1,800 tons of radioactive waste was illegally dumped. Now this is causing a huge concern here in the local community. On this map you can see the landfill isn't far away from Estill County Middle School and Estill County High School. As a matter of fact, they're right across the street from the entrance. Now the Division of Waste Management found the low-level radioactive waste sealed in 47 dumpster boxes. It came illegally from 3 other states. Estill County Judge Executive Wallace Taylor says the county is bringing in an independent company to check radiation at the landfill and at the schools today.
The first thing we're trying to do right now is to make sure our community is safe. We're even going to have on Sunday the water levels tested that comes off the landfill. That's going to take, once we get the test samples, it's going to take about 4 days.
Now the testing will cost roughly $10,000, but Taylor says the landfill will reimburse the county. The judge executive also wants to better monitor what goes into the landfill. Now county leaders tell us they're making every effort to ensure that the community and the schools, which once again are right across from the landfill, are safe. For now, live in Estill County, Mike Byer, WKYT.
Mike, thank you. New this morning, a man is in the hospital after a hit and run. Lexington police tell us a man was hit by a car in an alley. This happened around 2:45 this morning on La Flame Alley. That's near Hillcrest Avenue off Winchester Road. Police say somebody passing by saw the man lying there in the alley. Police tell us he had significant head injuries and was taken to UK Hospital. They say he was lucky somebody found him. Police don't have any kind of a description of the vehicle that hit the man, but they are searching for tire tracks. That's still under investigation. Also new this morning, Lexington police are looking for 2 men who they say robbed a gas station. This happened just after 4 o'clock this morning. Police say 2 men robbed the Circle K in the 3000 block of Richmond Road. We're told the 2 men demanded money and then ran from the store. Police say one of those men showed that he had a firearm. Police say they were wearing sweatshirts pulled up covering their heads. A Virginia police officer was killed on her first day on the job. The police department identified the fallen officer as Ashley Gwendon. She had responded to a call about a domestic-related shooting yesterday. She had just been sworn into the department on Friday. The 2 other officers were shot and wounded. The Washington Post reports 1 person was taken into custody.
Cattle farmers are happy with Lexington Mayor Jim Gray's announcement that the Bluegrass Stockyards is staying in town. The new stockyards will rebuild on Ironworks Pike near Interstate 75 across from the Kentucky Horse Park. Cattle farmers like Chuck Tackett are excited for the new location. He says it's going to be better for cattle farmers all across the state.
Especially shipping the cattle out and whatnot, the trucking industry. Unbelievable, they'll be right on the interstate. It's a win-win situation for them. It's just going to be easier access for all of us, for anybody out there that's moving those trailers up and down the road, whether it be the farmer or the trucker. It's just going to be more accessible.
The president and CEO of Commerce Lexington says the entire project will cost about $200 million. In Magoffin County, the judge executive has been accused of buying votes. Charles Doc Hardin won a fourth term by 28 votes in November 2014 election. A judge threw out the results last year after his opponent, John Montgomery, filed a lawsuit claiming fraud. A federal indictment claims 5 people took part in a scheme to buy votes in the 2014 election. The indictment names Hardin and 2 others as beneficiaries of the vote buying. Hardin is not listed as a defendant in the suit. Montgomery says something needs to be done to restore voters' faith.
We'll make it 2 in a row for Hillary Clinton. With overwhelming support from African-American voters, the former Secretary of State won the South Carolina Democratic presidential primary.
And Clinton beat Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders again. Craig Boswell has that story from Washington, D.C.
Hillary Clinton ran away with the South Carolina presidential primary. CBS News projects Clinton beat Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders by a wide margin.
Thank you so much, South Carolina.
Exit polls showed 84% of black voters went with Clinton. She also dominated among women by nearly 50%. Ann Bolton hopes Americans give Clinton a chance to be president.
The main thing I think is on her mind is to see that the Americans have what they need to have.
With more than 800 delegates up for grabs next Tuesday, Sanders looked past South Carolina Saturday and over the next 3 days is focusing specifically on Vermont, Minnesota, Massachusetts, Oklahoma, and Colorado. Sanders ended his day with supporters in Rochester, Minnesota.
Minnesota can play a profound and important role in moving this country forward toward a political revolution on Tuesday, just a few days from now.
Thank you, Alabama.
Clinton campaigned in Alabama before returning to South Carolina for her victory celebration.
We are going to compete for every vote in every state. We are not taking anything, and we're not taking anyone for granted.
Voters there told CBS News that political experience was important to them, and analysts say that helped Clinton pick up a decisive win in South Carolina. Craig Boswell, CBS News, Washington.
Now on the Republican side, remember, presidential candidates will caucus here in Kentucky this coming Saturday on March 5th. Voting hours are from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you don't know your assigned caucus location, you can go to the website on your screen and find that location. 3 Republican presidential candidates will be in Kentucky this week. Donald Trump will spend part of Super Tuesday in Louisville. Ben Carson will be in Lexington tomorrow morning at the Hit Center. And we now know Senator Marco Rubio will be in Lexington on Friday.
Dancers are in the final leg now of the Dance Blue Marathon. The event is a 24-hour dance marathon raising money for children with cancer. This year's recent outbreak of mumps on campus didn't stop students from participating in the event, but it is for the kids, so Dance Blue leaders did send a warning out to participants. They asked that anyone feeling sick or who may have been exposed to mumps stay home. Children with weakened immune systems do attend the annual event, so organizers wanted to be cautious. Very cool. Always a
great
huge crowd out there. Yeah, every year. It's very cool. 7:38 on your Sunday morning. There's still more to come.
That's right. They say a dog is a man's best friend, and that seems like a cliche, but this dog loves to hug his owner. That story's coming up after Mike's forecast.
A great start so far to Sunday, and while February will end on a warm note, March looks like it could be a bit more active. I'll show you what the work week has in store for you coming up.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Mike Linden.
Sunday is going to live up to the name. Right now, we are already on a good start so far to the final weekend, or the final Sunday of the month, I should say, here in the final weekend. Moving into March, things are going to get a little more active, but today is a day that you do not want to take for granted. Got to get out there and enjoy it today, as this is a live look toward downtown Lexington. Beautiful. Hardly any cloud cover out there this morning, and the radar is only going to confirm that, not only in Lexington, but for the most part across the state. If you do see cloud cover today, it's going to be very thin. We look to the northwest, and there's the thicker cloud cover, which will get here later this evening. And if you notice behind that frontal system, some active weather already brewing, and it looks like we could get in on that as we head into Monday morning and even into the next few days afterwards. So that's why you've got to get out there today and enjoy it, because look at the hour-by-hour progression of the day, back into the mid to low 60s. Normal for this time of year, right around that, right around 45 or so degrees. 45 to about 50 is our normal. So 64, you got to take that when you can get it. Mostly sunny as well, really looking nice for us. The only thing getting in the way today will be the gusty winds. Those are going to get quite strong out ahead of that front from the northwest. Look what happens into the afternoon today. This is 4 o'clock. Most spots up around about 30 miles per hour, if not getting even stronger heading into the evening hours, close to about 40 miles per hour as that front approaches from the northwest. And as it does, we are going to see the wet weather beginning to work its way back into the Commonwealth. Now, you're really not going to see it until very late this evening and into tomorrow morning. In fact, by the time the morning commute rolls around 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, almost all that rain will be all but gone, pushing eastward out away from us. Now, of course, with that cold front, you do get in on some cooler air, and that should bring things back down into the lower 50s tomorrow. But a warm front kicks things back up into the 60s by Tuesday, but then it's right back down in the other direction as we head into Tuesday evening and Wednesday, as yet another cold front swings in. This one a little different, though. Look what lies behind this cold front. You can see that pink and the white color there. Well, there's your wintry mix, and there is the snowfall. That's right, even though today will be in the mid-60s, it'll feel like the spring. We're not done with winter just yet. As far as your totals go, this doesn't look like a big-time event as we head into Monday morning. Very light, close to about 1/10 of an inch of weather across the state, or of rainfall, I should say. It isn't until Tuesday and into Wednesday that things get a little heavier. As far as what we'll see, it could be anything from rain to wintry mix to possibly even some light snow flurries. We really could see it all, as temperatures are going to fluctuate pretty wildly as we head into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Look at that, from 61 to 36. Regardless, today is the day. Beautiful for you out there today. Nice and sunny. Temperatures in the mid-60s. The only thing in the way will be those gusty winds. Don't forget about that. But otherwise, today really looking like a great day to get outside.
You guys have any fun plans today?
Oh, you know, real exciting. Probably take my dogs on a nice walk. It's probably about it. Really exciting day.
There you go. Make sure to
Growing
blow
up,
away.
Mike Linden.
Oh, well.
All right, there is a special bond between a police officer and his canine. Speaking of walking dogs, a picture of his deputy and his partner captured the internet's heart this week.
Yeah, it shows the deputy getting a hug from his beloved dog. Ricky Mitchell met the crime-fighting duo and has their story.
It's pretty obvious that Manson loves his partner, Deputy Chase Garrett. That love perfectly captured in a single selfie.
He likes to give hugs. He's a hugging dog. Most of the time, if we're just sitting there, he'll plop his head on my shoulder and just sit there like that.
Deputy Garrett says he took the photo a couple of months ago during a narcotics investigation. Manson is a 5-year-old chocolate lab trained as a specialized detection canine. He is used to find evidence specific to narcotics investigations. The two have worked together for the past 3 years.
We went from, in the car where he didn't know who I was, I didn't know who he was really, and he didn't listen too much, and then now he's a great dog. He's a great partner. He's just fun to have in the car. I mean, it makes the hours go by. Come here.
Manson even goes home with Deputy Garrett after their shift.
He's just very playful, very active. I mean, even at home, he just wants to be part of the family.
Garrett says he never imagined the response his photo would get, but he likes seeing his faithful partner get so much recognition.
They don't get the recognition because people don't think of them as cops or anything else, but I mean, it's good that the community actually likes police canines and they care that much about them.
Yeah, good stuff there. Always, you know, the brotherhood in the police department and sisterhood, it extends to the animals and the people. Gotta love that.
Yeah, it is cool to see their relationship.
7:46 on your Sunday morning.
I want to tell the time. We'll be right back.
Kentucky mornings start here. You're watching WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. Hope you're enjoying this nice weekend. Some watchdog journalism by the Lexington Herald-Leader revealed that many homes on large lots and other parcels of land have been benefiting from a drastically reduced tax bill because they were classified as farms. Now Fayette County Property Valuation Administrator David O'Neill is promising some swift changes, and he's seeking clarifications from the state. O'Neill appears with me on this weekend's edition of Kentucky Newsmakers. What is your perspective on what the issue is?
Well, we need change at 3 different levels of government. We need to implement changes in the PVA offices, but we also need the Department of Revenue to issue specific guidelines on what exactly ag use is. And then we need the statutes changed, because right now we have this big loophole where there's even a question about whether or not it should be ag use or ag capability, and most of the PVAs and the Department of Revenue at this point are following the guidelines of if it's capable of producing agricultural related income, then it qualifies. But we need to close that loophole. It should be agriculture use, but we need clear definitions on what that is.
Do you agree that this has shifted the burden to smaller property owners because the government has had to have the resources to run its services?
I suppose to a certain extent, perhaps, but I don't think that it has materially changed tax rates. I think that the $1 million or the $1.5 million that the schools may otherwise have gotten, the schools are able to increase their tax rates every year, and many years they do.
But because the properties are valued higher in town on smaller lots than those who have benefited from this farm tax break, they're the ones who are paying more of the bill, right? The ones on smaller properties.
Yes, but it's also important to remember that the house and the land directly under the house are still taxed at full fair cash value. It's the residual land after you account for the house and the land that's being taxed at a reduced rate.
What triggers a reassessment? Do you know are there some automatic things? There are some who think, you know, if they go add on a sunroom or they add an extra bedroom and there's a permit filed with the city, you'll probably jump on that. And at the same time, then they may go and wonder why things are not done as quickly on these other properties.
You're right. A sale will generate a reassessment, and we will typically take the sale price if it's believed that it's an arm's length transaction, a willing owner, willing buyer. But not all sales are assumed to be arm's length, so it's not always the sale price that becomes the new assessment. Building permits do trigger reassessments in many cases, unless it's something that we don't believe adds value. If it's a sidewalk repair or a new fence, it may not. And then we're required by law to produce a quadrennial review plan, and so most homes are reassessed for value every 4 years.
You have not required an application for agricultural use.
That's right.
In order to consider property to be agricultural, and some have. Jefferson County, for instance, does that.
That's
right?
my understanding, yes.
Yeah, so why not?
Well, because there's no reason to have an application if there's no requirement that agriculture use is taking place. So if you required the application and asked people, what are you using the property for, but then you're not going to require that they do anything other than it be capable of doing it, then I don't know the purpose of an application process.
To see the full interview with O'Neill and hear from a top Republican leader about next Saturday's presidential caucus, set your DVR or catch Kentucky Newsmakers this morning at 10 over on the CW Lexington. We'll have the latest for you bright and early this week on WKYT This Morning. I'm Bill Bryant, and we'll be right back.
Good morning. Your time is 7:56 on this Sunday morning. In California, get this, people have found a unicorn.
Yeah, unbelievable. Well, okay, so maybe it's not a real unicorn. This is Juliet. She's a 20-year-old pony who spends her days making people's dreams come true by posing as a unicorn in photo shoots. Now, on Wednesday, Juliet got loose, and it took a little while for that unicorn to get caught. In fact, it got pretty close to traffic a couple of times, but Juliet was safely taken back home. Her horn's a little crooked there, I think.
Can you imagine? You would notice that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine little girls seeing this unicorn on the side of the road? They would be ecstatic.
Oh yeah, Mommy, stop and pick up the
This is
unicorn.
exciting.
Yeah. Good unicorn weather, Mike?
Yes. Yes. A great day,
Sure.
whether a unicorn or whatever you are. Today looking like a great day with temperatures in the mid-60s. Much warmer than where we should be normally as well. The only thing that'll get in the way will be some strong gusty winds later this afternoon, up near about 30-40 miles per hour. Michelle thinks those winds are hilarious.
Well, what is unicorn weather? That's what that's what I'm
Ask Sean
thinking
Mooney,
about.
he's the one that asked me.
So
I
what
got
is
nothing.
unicorn weather?
That's the best transition I can come up with. Nobody is more up to date than you to start today. Switch over to WKYT for the second hour and more horrible segues.
Oh, it wasn't bad.